Hey, you guys. So, let's see if anybody pops up here. I'm actually getting ready to go to a doctor's appointment, so I'll try not to make this super long. New Year's Eve. I am ready for a new year. I'm ready. So I'm going to wait a few minutes and let a couple of you guys pop up here before I start my rambles. Hello, you guys. Am I on the right page? Yeah, probably should have looked at that. Leaders with a Dream. Am I on the right page? I know I'm a little early, but I have a doctor's appointment today to check on the baby. And I have not felt good for the last few days. So I have a doctor's appointment today, and then we're doing all the New Year's Eve stuff, and I'm so excited. Are y'all ready for 2021? I don't think I've ever been more excited for a new year than I am today. I'm ready. This year's been something else. It's been a difficult year, but it's been a year full of blessings. It's hard to remember that when you're going through trials. It's hard to remember that you go through everything for a reason. So, let me actually take one more sip. I can finally start drinking coffee again, and it doesn't make me nauseous. So, God is good. God is good. Good morning, Cassie. Good morning, Abby. Good morning. I am going to record this so you guys can share it with your teams. Okay, so let's get right to it. So, I want to talk to you guys today about always staying ahead, always staying a step ahead of your business. I used to not always do that. My first year, I didn't do that. But after my first year, I have always tried to stay a step ahead of my business. I always focus on the present, but I'm always preparing for the following month too. And I'm going to share with you guys how I do that. But I always feel like if you can stay ahead, it will keep you from feeling overwhelmed, and it will keep you feeling in control of your business. Ultimately, you run this business. This is your business. You run this business. You don't want your business to run you. If your business is running you, meaning you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling all over the place, you're not in control of your business. And you have full control over your business. So, the first thing I'm going to talk about pertains to today and tomorrow, but then I'm going to talk about what I normally do every single month. So today, there's a lot of stuff that's leaving today. So yeah, the bars, wax is going to be 10% off tomorrow. That's wonderful. I'll focus on that tomorrow. I always focus on what's going on in the Scentsy world right this minute. Right this second. So there's a lot leaving us. We have the Villains collection leaving us. We have Bring Back Bars leaving us. We have Bricks. Holiday collections leaving. Harvest collections leaving. Marvel warmers are leaving. So yeah, I'm excited about the wax being on sale of 10% off tomorrow. But my customers need to know what is leaving today. Because when tomorrow comes and they decide they want that Villains warmer, it's going to be gone. It's going to be gone. So I always focus on the present. Even though I get very excited about what's to come, I always get excited about new releases. I feel like it's very important for you to know when to share it with your customers, when to share that with your audience. I know, like, especially at reunion, when they used to do reunion, people would go crazy and start announcing to their customers everything that was releasing 2 months from then. Your customers don't need to know that. They need to know what's going on right now. What happens when you build suspense like that is people are going to hold out for then. They need to know what's going on right now. So I like to stay up to date with, I keep my customers up to date on what's going on in the Scentsy world now. Tomorrow, I've already shared the warmer of the month with my VIPs. I generally do that the last week of every single month. I don't do that any earlier than that. You'll kill your sales. But I'll push that tomorrow. I'll push 10% off bars tomorrow. Today, I'm focusing on what's leaving today. Staying ahead of your business, especially if you're a leader. So you're on this page, you're a leader or above, so you have a team. I need you to really understand something going into 2021. Your business has to come first. Your business has to come first. That's not selfish. That's a necessity. You have no business working with your team, posting on your team page, doing trainings for your team, working with your team, if your business is not taken care of first. And that follows what I talked about yesterday, having a system so that way you are consistently working the 3 legs of success. What happens, and I see it a lot with upper leadership, a lot with directors and higher leadership. You get in these roles and you feel like you got to do all this stuff for your team. Your business always has to come first. The first 2 weeks of every single month, that's my business. I don't work with my team. I don't coach. I don't do lives. I don't do trainings. That's my business, and that's not selfish. What happens if I stopped working my business and started working with my team? My personal business would die. Maybe I have 4 or 5 frontline and they fall off, but because I haven't consistently sponsored, I won't get paid at title because I don't have the active frontline. Yes, Sonia, that's actually what I'm focusing on in 2021 because I'm not good at taking care of myself. I'm not. I always, and I've been like that my entire life, want to take care of other people, but you can't do that if you don't take care of yourself first, and that's not selfish. It's a necessity. My team knows the first week of every month they're not going to get responses by text or Facebook messaging. They can message me through email, and I'll respond when I get a chance, but the first week of every month I don't post on my team page. I don't do live videos. I don't do trainings. I don't do anything for my team. That's my week to have my sponsoring conversations, to get my bag parties out, to follow up with my customers, to do the things that matter in my personal business. How can I lead my team well? How can I lead my frontline well? How can I lead my directors well if I'm not doing what I'm preaching? And I'm very, very stern on this, especially with leadership, especially with upper leadership. When you tell your team you need to put $500 in to get paid at title, or you need to sponsor 2 people a month, but you're not doing it yourself, that's called leading in vain. The best form of leadership that you can give your team, that you can give your frontline, that you can give the people that you sponsor and the people that they sponsor, the best form of leadership, and I only know this because I did it wrong for so long because I thought I had to do all these things, is leading by example and showing them what I do. So I'm not pulling posts from other team pages. Every now and then I will. Stacy has some good posts. I'll be stealing her posts all the time. But I show them how I'm working. How can I tell my team to do something I'm not doing myself? That's leading in vain. Your business has to come first. So staying ahead of the game. And I've done this for almost 4 years. Next month will be 4 years. I did not do this the first year of my business. Didn't do this. Pregnant brain. You can't tell your team to sponsor if you're not sponsoring. You can't tell your team to book parties if you're not booking parties. You can't tell your team to follow up with their customers if you're not following up with your customers. You can't do it. You got to walk. As a leader, you have to walk the walk, not just talk the talk. That's how you build trust. That's how you build relationships with your team. When they see that you're doing it, that you're doing the things, you're not just telling them what to do because you're nobody's boss. Have told my directors this several times. You are not their boss. You're not in charge of them. It may be your team. You may have sponsored them, but you're not in charge of them. You can't control if they work or if they don't work. You can't control if they do the things that you suggest that they do. The only thing you're in control of is yourself and your business. That's the only thing you're in control of. So the best thing that you can do for your team is show up and lead and show them how you're working and how you are working the 3 legs of success. It's the best thing you can do for your team. So the first year of my business was a freaking hot mess. I don't really know how I'm even still here. Literally don't. I didn't have a system in place. My follow-up system was sticky notes. Like, I would randomly be I would work as a nurse, and I would be doing my work, and I'm like, such and such ain't ordered in a while. I'll take my sticky notes out, write the name down, rip it off, put it back in my scrub pocket, and that's how I worked. For a whole year, that's how I worked. There was no rhyme or reason. I'm like, such and such maybe she wanted to do a party for me. She just started working such and such. Write her name down, sticking my stick in my pocket. My life was ran on sticky notes. There was no system. There was no tracking. I lost a lot of customers that way. I lost a lot of customers. I lost a lot of potential hosts and a lot of potential recruits because I didn't follow them closely. I waited for them to come to me, and that doesn't always happen. I did it wrong for a very, very long time. I also stayed very behind. So I never worried about what was going on next month. I focused on what I was doing this month. And yes, that's important, and it's kind of contradictory to how I started out this video. When I started focusing on my business the first 2 weeks of every month, it allowed me mid-month to start thinking about the next month. So what does that mean? That means getting my crap together. So by the 15th of every month, generally, I'm done with PRV. Normally, by the 15th of every month, I try to have my 2,000 in. It sounds like a lot, but I'm going to share with you how I do that. That way, after the 15th, I can start booking parties for the following month and getting bag parties out for the following month a week before the month starts. I stay ahead of that. I already have bag parties out for January, so I can close parties by the 15th so my PRV is in place. I'm always staying ahead. That's why a follow-up system is essential. When I said this to one of my consultants yesterday, one of my frontline, if you don't have a follow-up system, you have nothing. You have nothing. The most important thing you can have in your business is a follow-up system. If you don't have a follow-up system, you don't have a business. A follow-up system is how I build relationships. It's how I get recurring orders. It's how I book parties. It's how I have sponsoring conversations. Because my people, my customer base is right there in that follow-up system. So if you don't have a follow-up system, which is the most solid foundation that you can have for your business, you don't have a business. You're just going to be winging it. And you can wing it. I winged it. Is that where winged it? I winged it for a year. And yeah, you'll survive. But you'll want to quit. And you'll be very, very overwhelmed because you won't be in control of your business. Your business will be in control of you. I had no rhyme or reason the first year of my business of what I did. There was nothing about what I did the first year that was consistent or that was effective. Yes, I'm here now, so I did something right. But it was a struggle. It was a struggle. Yeah, I master follow-up systems. And I told one of my frontline this yesterday. Once you master your follow-up system, you master that, then you can move on to the next thing. It's great to have goals, and it's great to want to sponsor, and it's great to want to book parties. But without a follow-up system, and I'm telling you, one person can change your business. One person, one customer, one recruit can change your entire business. You'll miss people if you don't have a follow-up system. I can't tell you, and I said this in my video yesterday, when I follow up, yes, I care about their order, but I follow up to have a party conversation or a sponsoring conversation. That's how I consistently book parties and consistently sponsor. Because I'm consistently having sponsoring conversations because my customers are all in my follow-up system. So many people skip that step because they don't want to do it. You're skipping the most important part of your business. Everybody's business starts with one customer. One person that buys from you. One. You take care of that one person well. You follow up with them. Book a party with them. They have 10 people order from their party. You follow up with them. You take care of them. You book parties with them. One of them joins. It has a massive trickle-down effect that can affect your entire business. But people want to grow this huge customer base, right? You want hundreds and hundreds of customers, but you don't want to take care of that one customer. That one customer can be the person that refers you. Don't skip the most important thing. You're trying to build a massive building, but you have no foundation, right? You want to build a big business, but you have no foundation. That follow-up system is your foundation. Don't be like Katie Lassiter and a year into your business, You build a business, but you had no foundation, so it crashes. Or you crash. Or you crash. You have to have a follow-up system. That follow-up system, when I do that the first 2 weeks of every month, that's how I front load my calendar for the following month. That's how I sponsor every single month. That follow-up system. You want to stay ahead of the game. If you don't stay ahead, there's a quote that I love that says, if you fail to prepare, prepare to fail. If you're not prepared, you're not going to see success in this business. Just like tomorrow. So the catalog changes February 1st. Catalog changes February 1st. Tomorrow we can buy supplies, meaning you can buy your testers and you can buy your catalogs tomorrow for the new catalog, for the new season starting February 1st. When they release tomorrow, that's one of the first things I'm going to do is order my catalogs and testers. Why? So when they come in, I can go ahead and get them labeled, go ahead and get them mailed out to my customers, go ahead and book parties. So when February 1st comes along, bam, my business is set for a new season. But if I wait until the last day of January to order those supplies, February 1st comes, I ain't got nothing to do. I'm going to be twiddling my fingers until my supplies come in because I waited too long. Or some of you guys, I'm just going to call it like it is, the testers sold out last season and you had to wait for them to get back in stock. So you went a week without testers because you waited so long to order your supplies that they were sold out. You want to be prepared. One of the things I'll do is my parties are booked for January. My PRV's set. So I'm going to focus heavily on sponsoring in January. Then when my new supplies come in, I'm going to book my open house that I do every 6 months. I'm going to invite my customers to see the new catalog. Because I do that every 6 months. There's a video on my YouTube channel. Every 6 months I do an open house for my customers. Started out with one customer and it has grown. My customers come, they order from the old catalog, order from the new catalog, and I book parties while I'm there. So 2 hours of my time, I squash a lot of bugs. Kill a lot of birds with a lot of stones. But if I wait last minute, I won't be able to do that open house. Stay ahead. And sometimes staying ahead means checking your news tab. Don't wait for your director or for your sponsor to tell you what's going on in the Scentsy world. Do y'all think we get early access to stuff? We don't. You think we know stuff before you guys? We don't. You know how we know? Because we look at the news tab. Then we share it with you. Get in the habit of being independent going into 2021 and running your business. Don't let your business run you. Run your business. Run your business. This business is an easy one if you're focused on the right things. It's when people start focusing on the fluffy things and the pretty things and the fun things that they get off track from what truly matters. And that's follow-ups, parties, sponsoring, and working with your team. Don't get lost in the pretty stuff. Get lost in the important stuff first. Then move on to the pretty stuff, the fun stuff. So, stay ahead of your business going into 2021. Front loading. If you're on my team, meaning I'm your director, you know the 15th of every month I start talking about front loading. I do challenges with my team about booking parties. I don't do that just for giggles, just so we can have a challenge. I do that so that your calendar is front loaded for the following month. So that way by the end of the month, you're not like, I'm not active. Oh my God, I'm not paid a title because I don't have my 500 in. But if you were prepared, you would have had your 500 in. If you were prepared, you would have been active for the month. Your month should never be a surprise to you. You shouldn't get to the end of the month and be surprised that you're not active or be surprised that you're not paid at title. Your month shouldn't be a surprise. If your months are surprises to you, you're not running your business. Your business is running you. You are in full control over your PRV. You are in full control. Crystal, she's not going to be able to see it because it's lead consultants and above. But I'm going to share this to Redeemed after it's done recording. I'm going to upload it to YouTube and then share it. Only leads and above can see this, so they won't be able to see it. You're in full control over how your month is. You're in full control over how your month ends. Your month shouldn't be a surprise to you. What kills me, this is probably my biggest pet peeve. I might step on some toes, but it's fine. When people message me on the 2nd or 3rd, 4th of the month, and they say, I'm going to have a really bad month this month. And I say, well, why? Why are you going to have a bad month? I just haven't gotten any sales. It's the 2nd or 3rd. It's the 4th. You're in control over if it changes or not. You're in control over if you relaunch your business or get parties booked or follow up with your customers. You're in control over that. Your month should not be a surprise to you. You shouldn't be surprised if you didn't sponsor anybody this month. How many sponsoring conversations did you have? None? Or my favorite one is, well, I posted it on social media. I posted it, but nobody commented. That's not working your business. I utilize social media, yeah. I post, I go on my stories, I have a VIP page, but I don't run my business off of social media. I run my business off of my follow-up system that so many people are skipping because they don't think it's important. But that's the most important thing. You take nothing else from this video. The most important thing that you can do is have a follow-up system. Even if you have one customer, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have one customer or 2 customers. Treat that customer like they're your only customer. Watch them refer you. Watch them party with you. I'm telling you, most of the people that I've sponsored were customers of mine. They were customers that I followed up with, that I took care of. Seeds, you only bear fruit. You only can pick the fruit off the trees if you plant the seed. So many people are skipping the planting the seed and the watering it and the take care of it because you want to eat the fruit right now. You want the apple right now, but you don't want to plant the seed. You don't want to water it. You don't want to have patience. You don't want it to grow. You want it right now. And I'm here to tell you, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. That's why so many people quit. Because they're not patient. They don't want to do the small things. They want the big stuff now. They don't want to do the small, consistent, tiny things that add up to create the big things. Okay? Stay ahead of your business in 2021. Front load your calendars. The middle of the month. You follow that system that I posted yesterday or come up with your own system that I posted in the files tab. That might not work for you. So do what works for you. For me, if I book one party every Wednesday, by the end of the month, I'm going to have 4 parties booked. If all 4 parties meet the minimum, that's 800 PRV. If I do my follow-ups consistently, I'll get more PRV. If every Thursday I have a sponsoring conversation, I will sponsor. Those little things add up. They add up to create the big things. So, if you're overwhelmed, know I've been there. Many people have been there. I'm a firm believer of making mistakes, of screwing up. Let me say this too. When y'all order catalogs tomorrow, make sure you order English, U.S. English, okay? I'll never ever forget that. My second catalog change, I ordered Canadian catalogs and mailed them. Okay? Because I didn't know. I didn't see it. I didn't look. But best believe that mistake, I have never forgotten that. Every catalog change, I log in and I'm like, let me find out U.S. English because we ain't going to do that again. But had I not made that mistake, I wouldn't be so aware every catalog change to look for that U.S. English. Yeah, it was jacked up. How you mail them? And my customer's like, why is this warmer like a weird price? And I'm like, you have to make mistakes. You have to fall. The difference between people that are successful in this business and people that don't find success in this business is the people that don't find success in this business don't try anything outside their comfort zone because they don't want to fail and they don't want to suck because it's not a good feeling, right? It's not a good feeling when people tell you no. It's not a good feeling when you post and nobody comments. It's not a good feeling if you ask 100 people to party with you and they say no. But the one thing that I've learned, because it took me 7 months to book my first home party, 7 months, okay? Thought I was going to have to offer a kidney or a limb to get this girl to have a party with me. It wasn't for lack of asking. I was asking. But what I realized in all that asking was I was saying too much. My messages were like a freaking novel. I could have worked with Nicholas Sparks. It was a freaking novel. What I realized when I finally asked my customers why they didn't want to party with me, they're like, you've never asked? I'm like, yeah, I did. I sent you that message. She goes, girl, I ain't reading that mess. What I realized was I was saying too much. Instead of just saying, hey, girl, you want to get some free stuff? That's all I asked, literally. I'm like, you love this stuff. Do you want to get some free stuff? When they say yes or no, that's when I go into the whole spiel. But what I was doing was, hey, I wanted to see if you wanted to book a party with me. I can put stuff in a bag and I can meet you. When you hit $200 in orders, you get $20 in free stuff and a free half-off item. Shipping will be free to me. Like, I was saying all this before they even said yes. But what I realized from those months of sucking and nobody saying yes was I was saying too much. But had I not tried, had I not even asked, and had I not even tried, I wouldn't have known that. Too many people are so scared. And you build it up in your mind, right? I don't want to ask them because what if they say no? And it doesn't feel good. It's not going to feel good. In order to find success, you have to suck. You have to be willing to suck. Most people aren't willing to suck because it doesn't feel good. It's not a good feeling. You're scared about what people say. You're scared what people think. So you don't try at all. Don't be afraid to fail. The only difference between an essential consultant and a superstar director is the amount of times I've heard no, the amount of times I've sucked, the amount of times I've wanted to quit. I've sat in this floor many times and have cried and have told my husband I can't do this no more. Many times. Many times. Like, I've asked all these people, they keep saying, no, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? What am I doing wrong? What's wrong with me? I'm just not cut out for this. I suck at this. I'm not made for this. You gotta suck. Be willing to suck. Be willing to do things that are not comfortable. You'll get better at it. I'm better at booking parties and having sponsoring conversations because I sucked for like 2 years of doing it. I freaking sucked. I said too much. I said too much because I was covering everything they could possibly say in one paragraph. You have to be willing to suck. The one piece of advice, and then I got to get off of here because I got to go to the doctor. I gotta go to the doctor and it's like a 45-minute drive. The one thing that I'll say is when you see somebody else doing well in this business, when you see people getting shouted out for PRV, for sponsoring, for active frontline, for whatever, for earning an incentive, don't compare yourself. Instead, learn from them. When I started, I didn't know how to sponsor. I didn't know how to coach. I didn't know how to lead. Still don't know how to lead some days. Some days I don't know what the fart I'm doing. I just show them how I'm working. I don't have to have all the answers. It's not up to me if they're successful or not. That's not up to me. What's up to me is showing them what I do and them making it their own and them getting comfortable. Showing the way. It's the best form of leadership you can give. You don't got to have all the answers. You ain't got to do a million things. You ain't got to do a million trainings. Show them how you're working. It's the best form of leadership you can give your people. But early on when I couldn't book parties, I didn't have a launch party. Didn't. Why? Because I didn't want to. I was uncomfortable. I don't like to speak in front of people, okay? I'm better now, but go look at my first live video. I threw up on my first live video. I broke out in hives. My whole chest was broke out in hives. And I threw up. Because I was so nervous. And I remember exactly what we were talking about, too. They've released spring and summer bricks. Me and my husband went live with the bricks. And I threw up. I sucked. I sucked. And I wanted to quit. But I knew in order to get better at it, I had to keep doing it no matter how painful it was. No matter how painful it was, I had to keep doing it. I had to keep doing it. My biggest advice, don't compare yourself to what other people are doing, but instead learn from them. When I couldn't get parties booked and I couldn't figure out how to sponsor people, I watched other people that were doing it. And I became a sponge and I asked them, what are you doing to do it? What are you doing to get that PRV? And I was a sponge. I watched every single training. Even if I couldn't be on the live, I would watch the replay. I was a sponge and I was thirsty and I was hungry to learn. Instead of saying, she sponsored 2 people and I didn't sponsor nobody. This girl got 4,000 PRV and I got 200. What? I suck at this. No. Instead, I was in their inbox saying, girl, what are you doing? Some of y'all, it don't matter what title you are. Some of y'all, I message y'all asking y'all what y'all are doing so you can help me. So you can help me learn. Learning never stops. Doesn't matter what title you are or how long you've been in this business. Learning never stops. Ever. And I am a sponge. Some of y'all, when I run reports, and I haven't done it this month because I'm supposed to be off this week, but it is what it is. I'm not good at it. I'm just not good. I'm good at rest. Let me make sure that's not my husband real quick. Nope, it's FedEx. Be a sponge. That's one thing that's never changed. When I run reports and I see you guys doing well, Courtney gonna get a message from me. Courtney sponsored 5 people this month. I want to know how you did it. I want to know how you did it. Some of y'all get very annoyed with me when I say, will you go live on the team page or on the leadership page sharing what you're doing? It's because I want to know what you're doing. And other people want to know what you're doing because some of them aren't ballsy enough to ask you what you're doing. But your girl, if your name's on a banner, I want to know what the hell you're doing. I want to know what you're doing. If it wasn't for other people sharing with me what they were doing to find success, I wouldn't be here. I only know what I know because I learned it from other people that were doing it. And I was ballsy enough to ask, girl, how are you getting parties booked? Because nobody will book a party with me. Nobody would do it. Nobody would join me. How are you getting people to join your team? How are you helping your girls? How are you coaching? Girl, some of y'all that I coached early on, I know y'all were like, Katie is a train wreck. Because I'd be like, all right, that sounds good. Yeah, just keep doing that. All right, I'm here if you need me. Because I don't know. I'm not a natural leader. I had to learn how to lead. Because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I've never been a leader in my life. I'm very much a follower. Very much a follower. Had no idea what I was doing. I had to learn. Nobody joins and is the best at follow-ups and the best at sponsoring and the best at booking parties. It's learned. All those things are learned. So if there's one thing I can say going into 2021, people get caught up in the comparison game. They compare. I don't even want to try because such and such over here got 8,000 PRV and I only got 200. I'll never be like that. Please stop saying that. Nobody wants you to be like somebody else. Be you. And instead of comparing yourself to what such and such is doing, because that's not your journey, that's not your path, ask them how they're doing it. Or better yet, if you're rocking your business, don't wait for somebody to ask. That's why we have these pages. This leadership page, if you're my director, if I'm your director, Redeemed Blessings, if you have another director, their page, don't wait to be asked. Share it. Share it. Because I'm telling you, the people that didn't share with me, if they never shared with me, I'd still be at Rural Health Group right now. Right now. Like right this minute. If they would have never shared. They changed my life. Because they shared with me. And I implemented it. And don't just listen to trainings. Don't just listen to trainings or listen to live videos. Implement those things. Don't just listen to them. Try something new. Try something new. You gotta suck a little bit to get better. Don't be scared of failure. Don't be scared of failure. It's like when I order them catalogs. I'll never forget it. Never, ever, as long as I live. That's the first time I look for. Let me find English US. US English. Because we ain't going to order that. We ain't going to do that no more. That was silly. It was very silly. Don't be scared of failure. Failure is only going to make you better. It's going to make you resilient. You live and you learn. Right? You live and you learn. So I love y'all. Stay ahead of your business this year. Do not let your business run you. Run your business. Take control of your business. I love y'all. Y'all have a great New Year's. See y'all next year.